Well, I'm Richard Zucchini 1. Yes, welcome to my broadcast, everyone. Now, this theme of this broadcast is about, so the title is, I'll just choose something, I don't know. Blonde or dark hair, it doesn't really matter to me. Like the puzzle or, let's say, like, if I like blonde or dark hair women, I like either or. But I'll just choose the blonde for now anyway. I know I've told like some people before that I prefer darker haired women over blondes, but that is because I have dark hair myself, and I've always been, like, in a way, looking for my mate, like a soulmate at times. You know, like, when I say that, you see, it's just, it's like an idea to say that, you know, it's just an old tale or something that I used to say about myself. It doesn't really, like, you know, what I needed at the time, and I was like thinking that I wanted to be with a girl that has hair like me, like a dark haired girl, or maybe a girl that has like a similar nationality that I have, background or whatever. It may not be what I should have chosen like years ago. So the title of this video is excuse me, just ate yogurt. It's settling in my system or whatever. So yeah, let's put this. No, it's the wrong one. This is right. So, like, you know, okay, let me explain this again. Let me clarify what the title is. Fantasy Beauties is Love My Cure after 30 years. Or is it Fantasy Beauties is Love My Cure-All after 30 years? So when I say this, see, like, what I'm trying to say here is, what that means by love, I'm referring to sex. Because there's, you know, like, how to explain that, with what I've went through over the years, my mental illness problems, I researched this on Google myself after, you know, like, remembering what I experienced and went through 30 years ago. I have this history of depression, anxiety problems that started when I was only 14 years old, and I remember the problems I had. Okay, and, you know, like, I like this puzzle. So I remember the problems I had. And I remember that the teacher, my own karate teacher, was saying that you need to have sex to relieve these problems. You need to get this in your life. And there's all kind of women that were interested in me. And I was only 14 years of age. And not only that, but I was, you know, I had this sexy body, sexy physique that was the same body of Ryu Hazuki and Jin Kazama that they emulate later in video games. And so I had this. My life is very real. So I just didn't know what to do with my life, what to do with what, I'm going to do with myself with these problems of mental illness. I didn't know how to cure it. So I thought, like, if I keep being a spiritual martial artist, study different religions, and the main religion I studied at the time was, well, it had to be Christianity, because my background with my family, I'm Hispanic, so it just was Christianity at the time. This is the problem that the church and the state, science has, whatever, they don't accept these claims that people, they find controversial online, controversial in life about sex. So you see, society doesn't accept that sometimes. It's like, well, they accept it if you're young. Like modern society will accept that if you're younger. But I'm not the same age I was 30 years ago, and I never knew this truth about that I found looking it up on Google. Like, if you look up on Google, is sex a curable treatment? Like, just say look up on Google search, does sex cure mental illness? It indicates, it says sex can be very helpful with anxiety and depression, or it indicates that it's like a cure for mental illness for some people, I would say. Like, depending on the patient, different people that have mental or medical problems, I'm thinking it could be a cure-all for me. And the reason I say that is because I don't do, still to this date, I don't have anything really wrong with me, but I just have been dependent on, like, these mental illness medications. I don't take any right now. Right now, I've been off my antipsychotic medication, looking for the right puzzle piece here. It's hard to explain this. Sounds normal. This puzzle, I don't like it, but the theme of this puzzle is a woman. So I chose to do this broadcast like this. And just find the right puzzle pieces. This is the right one here, I think. Yes, so I think the cure-all, well, see, for me, I have, my teacher told me this 30 years ago, and this is before I started taking psychotropic medication for mental illness. Yes, this is real truth about Shenmue, and, well, my whole life story is based on this in a way. I am the founder of this style that did the moves and created the system, and now the game comes out in 1995 and in 1999, the Sega Dreamcast, and I know I'm the person who should be rightfully credited for this about Shenmue and Tekken, Gen Kazama character. So it's hard to explain this sometimes with trying to find the right puzzle piece. I might sound kind of nerdy or nervous, but that's because of the situation I'm in here. I have to find the right puzzle pieces. I should probably talk about this sometime, if I have an audiobook or whatever, more, and give more insightful feedback about what I'm trying to say. It's a stupid situation. I have to do this, but I don't know how to explain it. Like, I don't know how to explain it better than with this setting. So yes, I'll rephrase it again. My karate teacher tried to explain to me in the changing room that you're an attractive guy, you're a really good student, you're my best student, you're a really superb and awesome martial artist. How will they say it? The guys this Don teachers used to use like Mortal Kombat terms when I was training. They would say words like immaculate, impressive, talent. They would just say these things after we did a drill of kicking and strikes and blocks in rows in the dojo. So, okay, yes. So I'm thinking that, I just came across this idea in a way from my mind. Like I've been dependent on this Abilify. Well, it's not really dependent, but like I'll just name the medicines I took. I only took anxiety medications in 1995. I just took Buspar and Klonopin when I did all these moves for Shenmue and Tekken. I was really talented, really good. Buspar and Klonopin, those are just anxiety medications that many people might take for anxiety conditions. 30 years ago, I took these, and I still had an awesome talent for Shenmue and martial arts. Then in 1996, Christmas Eve, it actually was Christmas Eve, I had like some kind of a nervous breakdown or something, where I felt like I needed something. I never accepted sex, girls or whatever, because I'm spiritual, kind of religious, not religious, just what a way, maybe religious, both spiritual, of the martial arts person. I didn't know better. Most religions say that sex is not acceptable by most religions unless you're married, unless you're, something of that nature. That's how most religions depict about sex. See, they don't integrate that enough with science. So that's the problem I find that really is a controversial problem, even in today's society, maybe. I did my research on Google. This is what comes up. Now, it's also good for your heart, this sex or whatever. See, I don't know how it's like medicine to me. I'm thinking it would be like medication, sexual, of course, to me. And that's the reason I'm saying that is because it's something that heals people. There's science on this. But, I understand women and, people are people. This has to be does it have to be something understood real well before I, even explain it. And it's, this puzzle here, this kind of stupid to explain it. Whatever. Okay, so see that this subject of what I'm claiming here about is love a cure for the last, is love a cure for the last 30 years? That's the way I titled it. See, I'm just a guy, society in Southeast Michigan depicts me like a nerd, maybe. They think I'm like a nerd these days. After I proved my awesome talent in the martial arts in 1995, I had earned it. I have proof that I had the degree. That's all I got is proof that I trained that year. The teacher didn't even really look like he wanted to give me that back when I presented it to him a few years ago. One of the teachers that I had. But he knew he had to give it back to me because it's obviously my property. Photo identification card. I don't know if he knew what he was going to do about me because, those teachers already made, I don't know what kind of agreements or business dealings they had done after that year, but I can only presume and go by what I remember from that year. Go with what you know, right? See, this is the problem that I found. It's okay, so my my claim is, I mean, I'll just say it. If I had sex, and the right kind of sex, if I had the right kind of sex in my life, I would be normal, I think. I'm just coming to that conclusion when I think that. It's kind of hard to express myself with this damn puzzle, but, uh, this is the problem. I know I'm supposed to be a sexy person all these years. I know I'm supposed to be a healthy and a really cool person, but people that think they're sexy, guys that do things that are stupid, or they just have a college degree. Like, all they have is a college degree. They're more better and sexy than me. I don't see it that way, because I would have been so much more than just a college degree that so many males have in society. I mean, I don't want to really challenge those people with that, but that's the problem. It's like, they're depicted to be better because they have a bona fide university degree. And that's the difference between what I earned. See, like, what I earned was clearly from university students that were getting their degrees, and then they know they're certified instructors in our federation. They know my talent. They know other martial arts besides Subakdo, and they know other arts, but they know that I'm worthy of this. But I never followed through with a cure. I didn't know it was actually a cure. I'm just going to a karate class, and I'm taught different things that are like, would be like controversial subjects and topics in society, in life, that may not be in coherence with an agreement with anyone. Like, it's just not accepted or whatever, like, because that's just the way society can be. And so, yeah, it's like I keep going over the same topic, same subject. I can't progress further. I guess I'm having this problem with this puzzle. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to, I'm not going to even finish this puzzle review. I'm going to leave it like this, in a way. I'm just going to elaborate and talk about what I'm saying about the theme of this broadcast here, because if I keep trying to do the puzzle and talk about it, I won't get anywhere doing it. Yes, so, okay. So yeah, okay. All right, puzzle. So I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to talk all about this in just a moment as I put enough pieces together and let this broadcast be explained further. Okay, I'm just going to talk about it now, okay? So, instead of figuring out this puzzle, let's talk about this. And, I need to make notation that even though I cough, if I do cough, well, it may be involuntary, maybe a reason, maybe it's a nervous habit, maybe it's something more. Ryozuki does cough in Shenmue. If you follow the Shenmue series, he actually does cough too in the beginning, where he's going through a problem. He's being beat up by Landy, loses the fight, and then he does cough. So I just say that because this girl I dated used to bash me and make fun of me for coughing sometimes. Well, that's the truth, right? So, any problems I might have, I'm a real person that earned a real degree, and my new name would be Ryo Hazuki. I just remember too that my nationality was supposed to be Japanese when I moved to Japan. I was just supposed to be accepted as just to be Japanese. I was to be Japanese because I looked Japanese too. From Asian girlfriends, whatever, online, 1, 2, I don't know how many, Asian or Filipino, Korean, whatever, they say I look Asian, Korean, Filipino, whatever. They say that. Because we're all the same in some ways. So what I'm trying to say here, even a woman like this blonde, beautiful girl here would, she could be dark hair, she could be blonde. But if she would be the one to cure my problems, to cure me of my mental illness, she would be suitable for me in any way. See, this is just the way life is. When I say the way life is, I'm talking about science, life science, human anatomy and physiology. What is the missing piece there? My life? Well, look at the puzzle piece on her body. I've, in truth be told, in my history, I've experienced with a woman, I've had experiences with, a woman's breast and some other parts of her body, but maybe there's that one thing that, like penetrative sex, that I didn't really experience. Or did I? Did I in the morning with a couple girls or so? One, I do recall, or something like they might have did me in the morning before I woke up. Well, that's something I don't remember. See, it's like, I don't think any woman really had penetrative sex with me in the morning, but they might say that. But see, this is the pretty crazy thing about living where I'm living in Southeast Michigan. It's hard to get this for me, considering what I've been through and the denial of what my claims are from people and authorities. It's like not such a big deal. Sex, let me explain this. Sex is not such a big deal. But if people want to make it a big deal in society, that sex is such a big deal, they can do that, I guess, because they want to do that. They want to make me look stupid. People in Southeast Michigan want to give me problems. People in Southeast Michigan might hate me for thinking I was ever Ryo Hazuki, or is Ryo Hazuki. This is the problem I have. Because people choose to hate me. It's like a hate crime. But that's not something I should be faulted of. It's not my fault the way I'm raised by family members to be abstinent and not have sex, and I never chose to live a life of celibacy. See, that I don't even know what Catholicism is when I'm only 14 years of age, doing all these things for the martial arts and video games. I never chose to be abstinent of sex. I never wanted that, but other people I knew in my life would make me have problems. Maybe, I don't even know if I would go to prison, jail, if I would have had sex with girls at that Region 5 center. Because they asked me, teachers, if I wanted to do that. They tried to get me to do that because they knew I needed that, and they knew that the other girls in the karate class wanted me that way, but I didn't know what to do about that. Because I'm like a guy I don't have any sisters, for one. I don't even have a sister growing up. I don't know what it's like to. Um, I don't know enough about women, to be honest. And my background is like kind of a crazy background from family. Can't deny my family members. Uh, so like I think it would have healed me. I think it would have made me normal as a human being and a man. That I was beyond a man at 14 years old. The things I did were more than any man could dream of doing at 14. I would say, like, yeah, the things I did in karate class were, really impressive and, overly above and beyond, really talented. So that's really the truth of the Shenmue and the truth of this Tekken Gen Kazama character. So let me say this. Like, because it claims on Google that sex it's like a cure for anxiety and depression problems. The kind of problems I was diagnosed with when I'm 14 is major depression. Sometimes I had these crying spells in my room. I would just cry because, I felt rejected by girls at school. It wasn't girls, but it was like this one girl that didn't like me, or another girl I had a crush on later didn't like me because I'm not accepted in the clique. Like they had cliques, kids in school, and they had their special groups, and I couldn't be accepted ever. I'm just like they don't even like me being Mexican sometimes. But kids at school from Southeast Michigan, they don't like that or whatever, but they like the food. But that's about it. Maybe they like the girls that are Mexican, but a guy like me that's just weird, don't talk or something enough, I'm not accepted. I feel like it's discrimination, racism or something, but well, it's life in America. In Michigan, it's like a Midwest. See, this is a Midwest regional state, this Michigan state. And Southeast Michigan is very Midwestern. So, go figure. You got people from all nationalities here, but they're not all accepted like some certain people are. It's like that. And so I had like major depression at the time. Let me say this. If I ever cried, well, I cry because it's like such a terrible problem with what I was going through with this rejection of people. And like it started probably when I was, when I'm younger, I'm not trained, I'm not raised to like by nice people sometimes. Well, I am Mexican, and that's another problem too. It's like, maybe I don't have nice parents. So I thought when I was growing up. Well, that's the problem I have. I might love them a lot today, but not everybody can understand kids when they're children. They're not all passionate people in their life to their family or friends. They just might be really mean sometimes. That's the problem I had. So what I'm saying here about this cure for sex, sexual intercourse is what I'm talking about. I'm going back to my mind, like transcending back in time, like Inuyasha, and that is another claim. I'm supposed to be Inuyasha. There's events in Inuyasha, the series, that are they're in coherence with my real life story, the history I have at a private school. Mostly, this private school became another school. I think it's Lincoln Park Beacon School or something. It's on a Telegraph Road in Taylor, Michigan. It was a private school called Baptist Park. So anyway, there's history I have there. Let's see what's going on. Okay. see. Oh, okay. So what I'm saying here is that yes, I needed to have the right kind of sex. Like, when I'm 14, I can have the right kind of sex with no problem. If I could be that same way in 1995, like, you know, uh, see, the right kind of sex was available to me back then. So that's what I find is, um, it's like, this is the problem. See, I know that what I claim is real and true. And, when your love, when your memories, when your feelings transcend into time, they just do. And that's just the way I am. That's, if you look up about Inuyasha, his love transcends into time because he remembers Kikyo that year, and he remembers Kagome. See, Kagome is supposed to be depicted as the reincarnation of Kikyo. Kikyo, if you do your research on her and through Inuyasha, she's sometimes cold and very quiet. It's like she's autistic. Yeah, it's a likeness maybe, but this is what I'm saying. This Kikyo, shot an arrow at Inuyasha and put him into 1,000 years of sleep or more or something, maybe thousands of years on a sacred tree. He didn't wake up until this girl started playing with his ears. This ears playing that I'm talking about with Kagome, that's another, that's a memory from my past. There was a girl, maybe I should say there was 2 or 3 girls. They played with my ears when I was sleeping in science class at the private school. Because I was drugged on anxiety medicine. I was really sleepy in school. I was hitting puberty really, really hard. And I was really sexy as hell that year. And I remember girls playing with my ears. Some of the students called me Slash. That's something that Inuyasha does with his hands. He slashes his enemies with his... Sometimes my nails get long and I don't clip them. My eyelashes naturally look longer because of my background, my race. I guess I'm a half-breed myself. I'm half whatever I am. I don't even know if I'm Mexican sometimes, to be honest. But I know I'm a half race of something. Then I'm another nationality like American. But see, this is all like likeness of Inuyasha in a way. And there's more and more and more about this, about myself. But I don't know if this would be respected as my claims ever. Patrick Suzuki 81. So, I am normal, and I have to look at pornography at times because I'm a man. I have to try to be normal myself when going through all the things I went through are not normal, are not acceptable for any human being. Like, this is the problem that I have in Michigan. See, I earned my degree totally, thoroughly, clearly. I earned my martial arts degree, but I'm thinking that the teacher took it back because I didn't have sexual encounters or experiences at the Reagan Park Region 5 Dojang with other girls because, I didn't know I should. I didn't know that would help me or cure me. I thought that if I follow, religious context or something or whatever, see, I listen to my own parents. That's truth. That just pray about these things and you'll get healed, you'll get better. It'll be like a miracle. Like I think that I think maybe my parents or my family was pulling my leg. They even told me that, and I have these cousins in Texas that they're like these Christian theological seminar people, whatever they are. I've got people that preach about Christianity and stuff in my family. It's like I have the background in a way also that Carlos Ray has, that's also known as Chuck Norris has, the guy, the iconic sensation, the martial artist that is friends with Bruce Lee also when he was alive. So Chuck Norris is from our federation, the same federation I learned about years ago. He's also considered a dragon, born in 1940. I'm born a rooster, 1981. Bruce Lee is also born a dragon. Russ Henke was born a dragon, 1940. I'm born a rooster, 1981. So this is another clarification I think that would indicate I am supposed to be the true Ryu Hazuki. If there be any others, well, their zodiac sign is not aligned and not the same as mine, but I'm supposed to be this sensation, this flames, these sexy things, and it's me. But this is the way that I have problems here in Michigan, is that the federation I was training under had these instructors that didn't know what to do about me with all this talent, so they gave me this awesome degree, and then they gave me all the claims on it they were supposed to, but then, I think, see, this is what I'm trying to say. I think the teacher wanted to say that because you didn't have sex with these girls like I told you to do, I'm using that, Ryan, as an excuse to cover up for my family that wanted this for their son. And that's the problem, because I remember this guy that was supposed to be an attorney. He's my next door neighbor, ironically as it is. This Charles Scoopin. I remember him having conversations with Raymond Patrick Savoy in the changing room. I remember I even shook his hand once or twice. Raymond told me, "See, Ryan, this is the man that you're going to help. This is the guy that you're going to help." Now, I think he said that because, to my knowledge, the mother of these Scoopin kids, they brought them to class too. She's a history teacher. But they can't change my history. They can't own my history. This is the problem I have with this Kathy Scoopin, this Charles Scoopin. it's clear what I'm saying, very true. So what is this Kathy Scoopin that I know about? She taught history at, was it some kind of Trent high school? Okay. And Charles Scoopin, to my knowledge, he was not an attorney in 1995 unless they changed his history, unless they changed these claims because they have power of the state, these Scoopins, I think, the power of the state, power of some government. You know, it's a problem in a way. I don't know how much power these Scoopin people have. It's a big problem that they, okay, Raymond, okay, what I remember them coming in and out of the changing room, this Charles Scoopin and Raymond Patrick Savoy, my teacher, they coming in and out of there, and they were saying, that, you know, I remember Charles saying to Raymond, saying, I like that Chinese guy. I like that. I want that for my son. I want that for my son. I must have heard him say it 2 or 3 times in and out of the changing room. They were very impressed with my talent. They were very taken with what I did for video games and what I was going to do for the video game industry. They recorded me. They must have some secret, top secret, confidential VHS copies of my claims, my talent, my moves. Now, they should be kept confidential and top secret until they give this to me. They need to give this information to me, obviously. And this is the problem I have here. You know, I mean, I hate to just pull it off like a Band-Aid off the scab, but this is the problem. This is where I'm screwed over in history throughout time. 30 years ago, this really happened to me. And, you know, I shouldn't be explaining this in this, you know, blonde-haired beauty puzzle of a girl here or whatever. Like, I don't know how to explain this, but this is what really happened. You know, like, so what else happened there? Raymond Savoy, Patrick Savoy says, Ryan, he says, Ryan, do you want to help the family? Do you want to help the family? Like, or how did he say it? He said, Ryan, would you like, and this is how he said it, Ryan, would you like to help a family? Like, it's like he's like trying to make me feel compelled to help a family. And the reason I think that he said this was because it's my guess to me that if this husband of this family did not make enough income or whatever he did, I don't know what he did for a living or money, if in fact the mother is a history teacher or a kindergarten teacher or whatever, I don't know what she was, what kind of teacher she's been in school districts around here in Southeast Michigan, but they need to get off their high horse, is all I can say. These Scoopin family members, get off your high horse or let the cops get you off the high horse themselves and Raymond off his high horse, because you guys don't belong on the high horse. That's my place. I'm supposed to be on the high horse, but they don't want to accept that you're at. Because, see, the problem is my talent that I performed in that karate class made a lot of problems with some people in the class and parents that didn't understand. There's this guy wearing this white belt and he's got all this glorious talent for martial arts. Well, that's supposed to be my life purpose there. Part of it is that, these martial arts. It's not my fault that I'm not wrong to say these things even on the internet, but it's not my problem that people get jealous of me. People have problems because of me. See, so, you know, like, I can even remember, I remember the teacher training this Andrew in class and saying, don't worry, he's not going to get anything. He's not going to get not even one single penny. When Raymond was teaching Andrew the Shangdan Kung Fu Kyo Kapil Punch, I overheard him saying that. And then there was a second time I sparred with the Scoopin' daughters. I remember they came to class, and so they came to class. They were crying at first when they sparred against me. They weren't better. These are competitive people. Typically, people are competitive in martial arts. They always have to be better. I'm the exceptional one student that revolutionized the whole planet 30 years ago. I don't get credit for nothing how good I did. So those daughters were crying about me being talented or something in martial arts and sparring. They didn't look good in non-contact competition. I wish I didn't have to go to class when they went. The teacher brought them into the class. The teacher also brought these Bach family members. They're Polish. I don't know if the Scoopins are Polish, whatever they are. Whatever they are what they are. He brought them into class, and he didn't know what to do with me, my teacher. I guess I would have had to have quit the class so they can come in and do what they're going to do. But this is the problem. When I have this talent that is special about me, and I'm something different that people don't understand, I can understand people are not going to accept that and understand that, but that's not supposed to be my problem. See where I'm coming from, everyone? Like, it's not acceptable in any way that, even these Bach family members come into class and they make problems for me too. And I'm just trying to be accepted by the teacher. The teacher has assaulted me 2 times in the class, I need to say. Not in class. The karate teacher, Raymond Patrick Savoy, there are 2, maybe 3 times. I don't know. He has physically assaulted me in the changing room, but there's times I needed to talk to him, and maybe we could say that maybe I assaulted him by not letting go of his wrist when he was leaving. But I needed to talk to this person. I was looking for help. I had mental illness. I needed some help. So he helped me in a way, and I helped him in a way, I guess. But this is the problem I had, is that I didn't know what to do about my problems. I guess I needed sex. See, this is like real history of Shenmue. Now, this is what the teacher didn't like about me and my family. I come from a very strict, spiritual, religious kind of a background of beliefs, and it's not my fault. That I have this background. I can't escape it. He told me to run away. Maybe I should have ran away. Maybe I should have taken his advice. He was not a bad person, this teacher, really, but he didn't understand me, and he's got to take care of all these other students. He's got to help all these other students. He's got to teach a class. He's got to go back to college. He doesn't get much money for teaching this class. It's a lot of responsibility, and you don't know what to do with me sometimes, having this talent, this martial arts gift in my blood, in my body. And so what happens there with that, he's also a 5-0 police student or criminal justice student, whatever. Also from University of Michigan in Dearborn. And so is this Michael Hurst. He also was a student of University of Michigan in Dearborn. And to my knowledge, he was pursuing to become a math teacher. So he wanted to be like another teacher. I remember his name is Mr. Riley from Ruby High School. He didn't like me, I think, because of this other student. I don't know what it is. I don't think he really liked me. But this is the problem I said. There are some people that like you in life. Some people just don't really like you anyway. They don't understand you. They don't like you. So I had remembered this teacher, Michael Hurst, that was a math teacher. He was going to be a math teacher. I think he was actually a math teacher, probably because he seemed like he would finish what he started with this. I remember in 1997, he was going to become a math teacher, or maybe he was. I trained under his instruction, Michael Hurst, in 1997 also. I never received a degree for that training, but I was supposed to. Yeah. So, this is truth. Michael Hurst had blonde hair at the time. I think his blonde hair went away the second time I may have seen him in public somewhere. Yes. He reminded me of this Brad Pitt in some ways. It was like a cool blonde-haired man that he's like my best friend, really. And I remember him driving me home from karate class, despite, even though my own family, parents didn't want him to do that much, but they accepted him to do that. And, my own family was never supportive of me doing the martial arts. My own parents and family, they knew I had this talent, I think, but they didn't want that for me, because it's like, if I had this outstanding, amazing martial arts gift and talent, then who are my other brothers? See, I come from a family of 3 brothers. No, 2 other brothers. There's 5 family members in the family. The firstborn son is the name of my father. That's not me. And then that son is like a gifted artist in college and a cook and a chef or whatever. I always like cooking anyway too, but he's a gifted fine arts person. Fine arts, he can paint, do anything with his hands. Gifted in that way. And then my younger brother is, in a sense, he follows after me. He aspires to be like me. He's like the younger brother than me. Even though he's 8 years younger than me, he doesn't really have anything he's that good at. But he did spend a lot of his time with computers. He can build a computer. He can unbuild it, build it. He has knowledge and his expertise is more in computers, computer science maybe, but it's just, he's like that naturally. My younger brother, he liked what I did with these martial arts. He had the same interest and liking for this. But then I can remember his friends, all they do is do drugs, and some of them are dead nowadays too. Maybe some of those friends, I can remember that some of those friends tried to humiliate him with these martial arts or sword trainings that I would do. He tried to do this like I did. They would humiliate him and recorded him, or sometime humiliating him, whatever. That's just typical of this community. I'm from Southeast Michigan. Kids are that way. It's strange like that. But what am I supposed to say? Don't be Latino or Mexican around here. If you're living here, I don't know what to say. I'm here, but I also have this history with teachers and people that are American, or they're Polish or whatever. I'm like that too in a way, and I am, but then I'm also, whatever other background I am, race, whatever. So then you have me in the middle. I'm the middle son, and then the middle son usually gets, they can't, like parents in psychology, they can't always help the middle son like they have to help the other 2, siblings that are, centering the middle sibling, whatever. I'm the middle child. And in psychology, if you follow the research on that, sometimes the middle sibling or child doesn't get what he needs in life because of the other 2 siblings. So that is truth. And, if you go in a college, I could read a college book and they're going to probably tell you the same thing. I go to university, I could go to Michigan State University and they're going to agree with me on this. I could go to University of Michigan, Dearborn, or Ann Arbor, they're going to agree with me. I'm telling you. I mean, I can go to college to myself if I could get to college. If I could even get there. See, this is another problem I have. I can't just go to college. I can't just go there. I can't just drive there because I have anxiety issues sometimes. I never had sex in my life. This is the reason I have anxiety. So this is where my problems come from. I'm not a liar. And for anybody in Michigan to say that I should not have sex, they should be in prison, I think. If there's anybody in Michigan that would say I should not have sex, and this is the way I recognize this, I deserve sex with anybody that's legal. And if it happens to be so that I would have sex with an 18-year-old girl, so be it. I deserve it. Above and beyond deserve it. I'm Ryo Hazuki. I'm Jen Kazama. Who are you? Who was the 18-year-old girl? See? This is where I'm coming from. I'm not a liar. And this is what I've gone through all these years. All these years I've suffered because of discrimination, the envy of people, the whatever it is, the problems that come from Southeast Michigan that affected the whole planet. Southeast Michigan can destroy the whole planet. I just want to let everybody know Southeast Michigan could be the reason Michigan destroys the world. Do you want that, Southeast Michigan? I don't think we want that. But you guys better. This is why I think Detroit needs to become human. Like the video game, they need to get rid of all this. They need to change Detroit. Stop thinking it's about history in Detroit. Make it all about AI robots, and everybody gets their own free shit. That's what I'm saying. It's like, get your own free shit, your own free robot. That's what people like in Detroit a lot. Get your own freebie stuff, and you don't even have to work sometimes. Because, see, this is a working state. This is a working part of America, mostly this Wayne County. But my works are from my contributions as a young person. Those are my works. That's what I did in my life, early in life. I never wanted and aspired to be working all my life, being stuck in Wayne County, working at Ford Motor Company all my life. I didn't want that for myself. But then this is where way I recognize this. These scooping parents were in the class. They wanted this for their family. These royalties, these claims or whatever, they wanted to claim this. And they claimed a lot of it for people who they deemed they want to give it to. Later in life, they opened up a law firm. See, the teacher thought, would you like to help a family? I guess they were on a fixed budget and income. These scoopins, maybe they were poor people. Maybe they were poor people at the time. I don't know. Were they poor? If they were only living on the mother's teacher salary, was that a low teacher salary? See, I don't know these things. This is all truths I should know. But I don't know. The teacher, Raymond Savoy, doesn't tell me nothing. What's he do? He takes what I earn and gives it to the family members. And then this Andrew Scooper, he always had sex with this girl I dated, this Sarah Bach. Say her name anyway. Honey, he didn't give me any honey. Yeah, it's the problem. She tries to make a fool of me, has sex with him and other guys in bathrooms when I'm out in public with her. She does everything she possibly can to make her ruin and tear apart like crazy my reputation with Sarah Bach and her family. They tried doing that. And Raymond gave them vintage toys that were supposed to go to me. Those Japanese vintage toys went to Sarah Bach and her brother Brandon Bach. And then this happened years ago, but this is the problem. See, this teacher didn't care that I wanted to be a martial arts movie actor at that time. My life, he didn't care. He wanted to destroy everything. He wanted to make a joke on me, I think. I need to stop saying I think. He wanted to make a joke out of me with this video game. And then try to give it back one day, maybe make me feel stupid. Now, I don't even want a new life, really. I would like a new life, but this is the problem too. I've always been this legacy of this Ryuzuki. It's like he made a joke out of my life, this boy. It's insulting himself. It's not right. But this is what I think he did for different reasons. I think he didn't want to do this, but I think he kind of wanted to do this. I don't know what it is. It's like a mixture of feelings and jealousies and stuff. It's like a mixture of all personal feelings that came in the way like a wedge between me and my karate teachers. So there's a lot of jealousy, like that, and problems that came from my training. But my training did, in fact, create this Azuki style and the moves from the scrolls they used in Shenmue. Those are my moves, and I shouldn't deny myself. See, imagine if Inuyasha is a real person. Imagine if Ryuzuki is a real person. Imagine if Jin Kazama is a real person. Imagine if Kazuma Kiryu is supposed to be a real person. But imagine that, Google doesn't want to tell you that. Imagine that adults in an authority figure like teachers and pastors, and I quote that again, Christian, whatever pastors, religious figures that are in authority of spiritual empowerment claim that I'm just a fictitious, fraudulent person. Imagine if they say that, but imagine they say that, and no, they're just and believe me that they're wrong. They're wrong about that. Not supposed to be something fictional, but I don't like to say that. But believe me that I don't like to say that because, well, I don't know why. It's just when I did this talent for Shenmue, it's a spiritual act. It's a spiritual act. My own parents don't like to even hear me talk about this. But it's a big problem because society doesn't want to accept this. The world doesn't want to accept my truths. I should make a book. I should write about this. I should do more about what my claims are, but maybe I shouldn't. You see, this is where this is starting on my YouTube channel of Retro Ryuzuki 81. Again, that I have to live my life too. So what I'm saying here, this figure of this puzzle, this beautiful blonde woman, is a depiction of what of something I need, and yes, I think that I'm worthy of this. I think that I deserve this for so many years, but there should be no buts. It's like I shouldn't have to feel guilty about being normal. I shouldn't have to feel guilty about getting my needs met as a man. I shouldn't have to do anything for anyone. This should just be expected in my mind. It should be expected that, if I am this, I'm entitled to this. It's like I should be given this because I already earned this so many years ago. But I'm confused about what is the right thing to do, the right choice at the time. I guess that's because I have a background of morals. I have a background of ethical values and stuff. I'm like a good person in my own way, and I guess I can't help it, but I didn't know that's what I needed. And so this is what I'm saying. Google does declare that the cure for mental illness, it indicates a lot. It's like a cure, but then, it says it's a cure, then, is sex, sexual intercourse, like penetrative sex with male and female. For me, I'm a male. I would need it with the, female, penetrative, whatever tight or loose, whatever I'm going to say. So it's real and it's not a lie. And that degree, the degree I had is denied because people were jealous of me in that class, and the teacher gave what I earned. I guess he gave it to my neighbors, but then they decided what to do about it or something. I mean, should I lie to myself and kill myself over this because I'm not worthy of human life? I'm not worthy to live my life. You see, this is where I'm coming from. I'm not going to deny myself of living my life. See, everyone, I'm not going to deny myself to live my own life. I'm going to live my own life, and I'm not going to lie that I'm nobody. I'm not going to say I'm nobody when everybody else may be jealous, may have envy of me. I mean, that's not my problem. So I have to live my life too. And, I realize these things, but, how will I go about doing this, living my life now that I figured this out finally, what the scheme has been on my life? It's a scheme that I had to figure out myself. That's what the teacher wanted me to do, was to figure out the scheme. He told me to meditate. I did exactly what he did. He said, Ryan, I want you to meditate. And I did that. Then I figured this out on my own. And if anything, I expect something. I expect a lot of good to come out of what I'm doing here. But I don't know what will happen, to be honest, because people might be so furiously jealous of me. So what I'm saying, like a cure for my problems, like a cure for mental illness and that, I think there could be a way. And this is the thing about this. This is not acceptable by the system. What I'm doing, if I was to get better with like sex, and then stop taking psychotropic medicine, it's not in agreement with the system, the way the system is oriented today. You see, this might be a cure for my problems, I think. But this is what I'm saying here. See, now, to date, I have not taken the psychotropic medicine for a month or a month and a half. It's been maybe 6-7 weeks now. Oh, maybe it's been 8 weeks. But I'm not unstable. It's like, I don't take right now. I'll say right now, as of right now, I don't take any mental illness medications. The only medications I take right now is medicine for blood pressure, medicine for my heart rate, because I don't have a healthy relationship with a woman. I don't think I would need this medicine called atenolol if I had a healthy sex life, if I had a healthy relationship life. I take medicine for diabetes, and I take medicine for cholesterol or whatever, but I don't think I would even need these things. Like, maybe I wouldn't need these medicines forever. Right now, I'm not taking mental illness medication. The doctor does tell me not to take that sometimes, if you can, and take less if you can, because some people are okay getting off of their medication. I'd explain this about the bipolar disorder, the mental illness, the psychotic features of mask or charade or veil of a problem that may not exist. The doctor does say to be on a lower dose, and he does say he says to live your life. He says to date, to go out, to have fun. I can't do this if I've got problems with this discrimination in Michigan. If I got problems with people denying my history for who I am. Did somebody like my history and own my history and do something with my history? That's my medical history that made Tekken. It's my history that made Shenmue. It's all my history, and I'm not selling it. It's not for resale. I mean, sorry, it's not for resale. But see, the reason I asked my teacher, I asked my teacher to copy me. I asked him to do that, and he did say, he said so. He said, well, yeah, we were going to do that anyway. My teacher said, one of them or all of them said, well, we were going to do that anyway. We were going to use you like that because we want to do something more with you. They did say that to me. And they did say, let me say, the reason that I asked them to use my fight choreography and use me and put my moves in the video games is because I wanted them to record that. They did record my moves. I wanted to take that proof with me one day and try to be a martial arts movie actor one day. With this talent that made Shenmue, with this talent that made Tekken, with whatever games it made, the likeness, and then I wanted to use especially the fighting system that I created, and I wanted to use this to get into Hollywood one day. I could be like D. Scott Adkins or somebody like Jean-Claude Van Damme or somebody that's like that. Michael Jai White, the Hitman, Woozy, Donnie Yen, all these inspirational, powerful martial arts movie actors that come on TV. Well, they have something. They got something, right? What do I have? I have this since I was age 14. The videos are supposed to be my videos. I hope that they would present this correctly to me back again, and I have to tell these simple truths about myself because nobody cares to say the truth about what I did and who I'm supposed to be in life. Nobody wants to accept me for who I really am. This in Southeast Michigan, this is the problem I've been having for 30 years. It's a real profound testimonial, this video, I think, also, but all my videos are profound, strong, powerful. I can't help things I say have to come out, but this wouldn't have come out if people would have not put me in this situation all these years. So I have to blame someone else, really, because I didn't ask to be in this situation all these years. No, it's like somebody else wanted to suppress my life, wanted to suppress what I'm good at and hold me back and not let me do these things. So when I say somebody else, I'm referring to multitudes. I'm referring to multitudes of people. You see? So I have to explain this clearly sometimes. Not that everybody wants to hear what I'm saying. That's a problem too. But I'm alive. I have a life to live. And if anything, I have a dick. I need to use it. What am I going to do with myself? So, you know, I don't think really, I don't think I should have to, you know, I don't want to have to worry about what I'm saying or anything, but this is the problem here. I don't know what to do about myself because I have a life to live too, and my human rights need to be valued and respected. So that's where I find there's a problem with my claims. I have to live my life too. I don't think I should have to be concerned about my safety or whatever. You know, to say these things on the internet, they are true, but you know, when people just don't respect you or deny you in the past, like wow, you know, the wows could go on forever and ever and ever. And what I'm saying is that I just don't know what to do other than to stand up for myself. I have to. So that's all I can say about this. Some, you know, retrospective, you know, manner of speaking, I have to stand up for myself. Okay, so And this is Retro Rizuki 81. Thank you.